Hello everyone and welcome back to the Frankfurt Major Qualifier. We are still in the European Division, but now we got to go into some serious stuff. It's lower bracket now. It's NiP, where we just witnessed drop 2 games to Monkey Business. They now have to face their fellow Swedish friends, Alliance.
So if you're Swede now, I don't know if you're really depressed or really happy.
A little bit of both.
You're guaranteed at least a team to root for, a TI. The best they had was what? Secret, which I don't think really counts.
No, I think if you're a Swede, you're happy in this situation. I would say maybe a week or two ago, you didn't expect to have any team at TI, so this is above your expectations.
Okay, sounds good. So the Swedes, rejoice, begin celebrating, no matter what. You have a dog in the race.
Well,
Horse in the race.
Well, dogs race too.
Yeah, but that's not the same.
So do people.
Is that a chip? Are we even doing chips?
Whatever.
I'm
I don't know.
I
don't know. I'm like, I wake up this morning. I come downstairs. I look at our thing. Before when I got off casting, I had put 1 white chip in, and that was the only thing. That was the only chip of ours that was in the jar. I come back after Demon's here, and it's all gone.
Well, you know what the worst part was he dodged his fucking punishment.
What?
He's a walking meme.
What?
He comes out back where we're hanging out, and he's like, "Oh, I'm gonna leave now." I'm like, "Okay, well, make sure you tell them you're leaving so that you can do your punishment." And then he just like, "Bye, guys, see you later." And they're in the middle of a serious cast, so they can't interrupt what's going on. So, classic Jimmy. Classic Jimmy.
Whatever. He's not going to the major. I guess that's punishment enough. Anyways,
We're in a draft right now. NiP maybe looking to swipe the lineup that Monkey Business pulled out. We'll have to see. At least for now, they open up with the Tusk. They get the Alchemist here. And Alliance are going to be opening up with a Queen of Pain and an Undying. But let's note this, LD. No Nature's Prophet yet. Banned or picked. Big reason why Alliance are still alive in this qualifier run. Neither team acknowledging it.
The Rat King.
I think
Maybe even something NiP considers banning here.
But one thing I do like is they're already taking preemptive measures to punish this Alchemist and the potential greed that comes along with it. They got an Undying and a Queen of Pain, so you can fight nice and early. You're going to peak at a good time and maybe even build on this more and really go for objectives fast.
Yeah, the interesting thing with the Nature's Prophet is it kind of plays the Alchemist game in some ways, right? Like the whole Alchemist game seems to be get incredibly far ahead, play the farm more, and then ideally hit your timing window somewhere between like 25 to 30 minutes.
Yeah.
20 to 25 if he's super far ahead. So
Super forehead?
yeah, before the Nature's Prophet really gets going to the same extent.
is that a
so
chip?
I'm not sure if
I was
that's what they want.
clarifying. I didn't say it. I wanted to make
whatever.
sure. Well, okay, fair enough. It wasn't on purpose. Commissioner Dank Lord.
Well, you're just lucky the
Winter.
real Merlini police is sleeping, or you might not make it out
Yep,
with
yep.
such an easy pass.
Look at this follow-up from NiP. They are going to be the ones to pick up this Jakiro now, so they also offer a bit of that sieging power.
Another okay Ags carrier, not
Yeah. I mean,
not
as-
ridiculous on the level of
not
Necrophos.
as
I
good
think
as-
to
or
me
Venomancer?
he's my new favorite. I think with
Necrophos is
Venomancer
nice,
obviously
yeah.
being up there as well.
Interesting that they chose the Jakiro over the Venomancer.
He has a stun, so I guess that brings something different to the table. He's a bit better at actually taking towers, as Dakota tries to pull it together.
Sorry, I have to... Well, LD, all right? For me to get into these games, I have to find someone on my list and then find someone in the game and then log in, follow them, and then remember that once I get into the game, I have to go back, go offline, so that people don't keep adding me and trying to message me while I'm trying to do some work here.
Well, and then the best part is you add someone as a friend, they don't show up on your friends list.
No,
It says they're not in the game when they are in the game.
Yeah,
You can't search your friends
So I have to
list right now.
reboot my Dota client to get back into it once more and hope to God that it pops up at that point.
I think they're going to make you complete a Rubik's Cube as well before you're allowed to do anything.
Now we don't even know when the game ends. Last game just ended. We didn't even get to see GGs or anything. We just have to see if the throne's going to blow
Yeah,
up.
sure. You're just trying to make them look bad-mannered. Let's be serious here.
Yeah.
It's all part of the NA conspiracy. You're wearing the North American Dota shirt. You're out to get the Europeans. Don't lie.
They're
Don't
doing
even try.
hey, Complexity's an anti-GG kind of a team, so it's just trending.
So Alliance go with the Lina. Still hiding the Bulldog hero. And NiP I mean, in general, Alk is happy to play that farm game, which is what Bulldog likes to do on the Prophet, but it is Alliance. It is Nature's Prophet.
I think.
Are you going to ignore it?
I think if you're NIP, you don't want to ban it out. You know what I mean? It's not that. It's not.
I agree.
It's not a super scary hero. I think their game against Liquid was a bit of an aberration.
I think more like, do they want someone that can at least gank him? Because that Liquid game, there was
yes, they do want something that can deal with
nothing,
and there are definitely options.
They didn't have an
that.
Alchemist against that. I don't think you want to pick an NIP and
Well,
Alchemist.
the Liquid game, they did have a Clockwork, which is great against Nature's Prophet and catching him out. But I don't think he had the greatest game.
No. And then they had like a Sven IO, which was it's okay.
I think a lot of that just came down to play.
Yeah. And also Bulldog getting incredibly farmed.
Bulldog played really, really well.
He just has enough of those games where it's got to give you a little pause, but we'll see. NIP
I don't
taking
think it's something you want to go for, though. I mean, Alchemist with Acid Spray and probably going to get Boots of Travel. Seems
all
like
the
he'll be
extra
able to farm
trance,
it up.
all the extra
That's-
gold.
Yeah,
that's
Lich,
true.
He'll just run around and farm it all up.
That's kind of what I was thinking. Prophet, yeah, it's the Alliance hero, but it plays into NIP's hands as far as the draft and overall strategy goes.
We'll see, though. They could always have other measures to handle Alchemist. AA is what some teams consider to nerf down his chemical rage a bit. But without any additional sustain, and if it doesn't suit the game plan of Alliance, it might not be necessary.
I think ultimately how you counter Alchemist is you do what C9 did in their DC game, is that you pick heroes that can ultimately kite it out. I mean, Alchemist is going to get a lot of farm, he's going to get a lot of gold, but when he gets 6 slotted, he's still not a great endgame carry. Pick stuff that kite him out, and that is interesting.
That's a keeper.
They like their offensive dual lane keepers. The NIP do this quite a bit if they want to contest a greedier safe lane farmer. So it'll normally, I guess in this case, it'd be like the keeper plus the tusk.
He's an Ags candidate as well.
He is an Ags candidate,
Very
actually,
good
as
Ags
I'm
at
sure you're
that.
very excited to see.
But Night Stalker's still out there. What if Alliance just pull out Night Stalker now and be like, screw you and you're Keeper of the Light?
They could put Bulldog on the Undying,
fun.
and then they would have
Every
a
time-
roaming
It's
Night
not
Stalker.
fun, though. Let me tell you firsthand. It's not fun.
Every time it's day, like NIP's all excited, they're charging about Pops Darkness. Meow.
And always the Night Stalker in a more of a core position will get an Ags earlier than a KoTL will. Maybe, with this game, an Alk, I don't know what kind of priority they want to put, but it
really
You know
just
what
depends.
has been
worth it.
ignored? I'm not sure if either team wants to run it, but Brood Mama is just sitting out there.
Bulldog played Brood? I mean,
Yeah. I mean,
I'd imagine he'd
if
be
there's
able
a bad
to play
Brood
it.
game, this is
He does.
probably the bad Brood game as far as
Yeah, I don't-
every single one of these heroes can clear the spiders.
Keeper,
Pretty
Acid
Yeah.
Spray, yeah, no.
I
Alchemist.
think they actually wouldn't pick it this game.
Yeah.
But it's just interesting to see. You see ESL 1, Broodmother's like a first overall pick, and then a lot of the other teams not
That's the thing.
prioritizing the hero or not having a great Brood player. NIP doesn't even run the hero. It just slips all the way through.
Yeah, no one really ran too much Alchemist at ESL. Where I thought,
No, I
No,
think
people had not discovered the greed.
so. We'll have to see what Vega is going to be pulling out in their next tournament when
Might still
they
be
realize
Brood.
this is the era. It could be, yeah, but with an early ban on someone like Alk, Brood could still,
and NIP does ban out the Night Stalker. They know that this is
yeah.
Alliance still can pick it, and it would completely counter the Keeper of the Light.
So they still need the Bulldog hero for Alliance, correct?
Bulldog hero could be the Undying.
Could be the Undying. What about Spirit Breaker then? You can get a Spirit Breaker to put with the Undying?
I think Spirit Breaker is actually a pretty decent pick here.
Do they won PL? No. What
Oh
do
yeah,
they
we
play?
look back to NIP side. Era
that seems
played
a little-
Alchemist last time.
It seems a little too.
So the
greedy,
Limp
actually.
hero,
Oh.
or not, or they're
Nope.
gonna have Limp play Alchemist
right.
in the mid lane and do Era on the PL.
All
Classic.
right.
KoTL
Well,
PL.
I guess we know who has late game now. They have the
This
mobility
is
of
really
recall.
greedy.
They have the mobility of recall. They have Alchemist mid, and they've got a PL.
This is super greedy,
This
but
is really. But
if that Phantom Lancer can get items and can become a problem, what does Alliance have that can really deal with the PL here? Queen of Pain, maybe Lena, I guess.
And I'm not sure what they pick. They could go Ember. I saw one load of Ember game. It was not that impressive, and they already have the Clinks, so they'd have to throw Lena Undying into some portals. And they're just gonna say, screw it, we're going Brood anyway.
Lord.
I don't know, dude.
They don't, and NIP don't have great catch for a Brood. That's the one thing. But they just have incredible wave clear after the early laning stage.
I'm a bit nervous though.
I'm
Eventually, KoTL will get
super
an Ags.
nervous.
He'll have an Ags gem. They'll be nowhere safe for this Brood. Alchemist will Acid Spray farm the hell out of the Broodlings. You may be good with micro, we know Bulldog is very, very good with micromanagement, but Acid Spray is big. And if you're keeping your broodlings constantly out from the lane, that means you're not farming, you're not harassing. This is going to be interesting. I was expecting maybe Alliance would be more all in on just taking objectives and pushing and punishing how greedy of a lineup this is from NiP. They're going to have no good early game, really, except for the Tusk. That's it.
This is really going to come down to how well Bulldog plays and how well he keeps his spiderlings out of Limp's hands.
Yeah, exactly. you get a little careless with your spiders. You're busy controlling your hero. You feed away 20 spiderlings with the bonus out gold. I don't even want to do the math.
That is an insane amount of gold.
Ridiculous.
Yeah, it really comes down to that. I think it's very doable though. This is like the reason. A lot of the reason Brood is so feared is that a lot of traditional Brood counters, things that you think about like Legion Commander, Tidehunter, Darkseer, Brood can still, or even Axe, Brood can play around those counters. He can creep skip. He
can just go farm the jungle, keep the spiderlings out of the lane.
She can go incapacitating bite against LC. There's lots of little ways that Brood can adapt.
And the other thing you can do is just spam the hero with the spiderlings if they don't have enough regen. So
the nice thing though is that I would imagine Limp's going to be starting mid, so that early Acid Spray is not going to be a problem for the Brood. Eventually, it will be, so he won't be up there having to deal with it. But they have a KoTL who could always.
Please don't forget to skill greed. Please don't forget to skill greed.
I've only seen one person do that so far.
Yeah. The other question is, does he get the free rune? We've seen a couple of teams.
They need to secure.
There was one game where I saw an Alc denied both bounty runes, and then of course there was the disaster game where. He forgot to skill greed over in America. Depressing. But it looks like they are going to bring the whole team to the top rune, and Bulldog's here.
They know he's up there.
4 Radiant heroes. They don't want to give this up.
They have detection just in case. They could
skill greed? Greed?
He's got it skilled. He's got it skilled. Can he grab it? I don't know if he can grab it. Blast is going to break out. Ake's in big trouble here right in the midst of it, and he was not able to grab it up. Broodmother's going to be the one to grab it, and Seal Kid will be able to secure the first blood for his team, taking down Ake.
Is that,
but
I think that's
is worth it.
I think that's worth.
That's definitely still worth it for Alliance, but NiP, like to me, that's like they get the, the silver lining basically. They get the first blood. It's not on Limp though, and he had to use a Tango early. This is going to be a really tough lane now.
Yeah.
It's not the worst thing ever to, have KoTL pick up the first blood. That means he can afford the extra wards or get closer to boots a bit faster. But I would agree, getting a bounty route for NiP would probably have been the dream for him. Or at least getting a first blood on one of their cores.
I'm surprised that NiP actually got the first blood there. You're fighting into a Helena Undying. Undying got how many hero decay?
It's
like at least
3 or
2.
4.
Yeah.
Also, Keeper of the Light is really good in those fights. So that's the one thing that I guess allowed them to take. It was just getting off a good Illuminate. But this mid lane is going to be a real problem for me. Limp already forced to heal up. He's got 1 pull Tango, 200 gold. He desperately needs that 2-minute bounty rune, but if I know Alliance, they're going to be looking to contest it rather aggressively.
It's funny, it's because this is the mid lane matchup we saw in game 1 of NiP versus Monkey Business, where it was NiP who had the Queen of Pain against Big Daddy's Alchemist in the mid lane. But at that game, Alchemist had assistance from their Witch Doctor to help secure him in the start. He didn't get that luxury this game. It was S4 who even had the assistance, so he's going to have a huge start on his Queen of Pain.
Yeah, they sent the Tusk driving by mid, but there's nothing he can really do to harass in that situation. So.
Yeah, they need him to get farm on bottom.
Of course, laning against Alchemist, still incredibly annoying no matter what. He has to tank the Acid Spray, Quap. S4 playing this pretty much perfectly, though. You need to take that harass just to deny the Alc constantly. And while he's not fully denying him, he is really slowing him down now. Alc only 4 CS.
My nuts gets the bounty room bottom.
Alliance is just throwing bodies at bounty runes. They're like, yeah, we'll give up a kill here, a kill there, as long as we stop you from grabbing gold for the Alchemist.
That is not worth it, though.
Yeah, that's also not the 0-minute rune, so it's not giving you as much.
Well. He's 2-0. My man.
And Limp actually gets a regen rune, which generally you would say is not as good as the bounty, but considering how the lane's been going, not too shabby. Secures the bottle. We'll be flying out now. He's 9-0 already after losing his early Tango, having to blow extra money on regen, and laning against the Quap with laning harassing him at level 1. You can only slow Alchemist down so much. So let's look at the other lanes.
Yeah, I was looking at top lane. I didn't even factor in the Jakiro is also very good against the Brood. Easy dual breath, liquid fire. Bulldog is going to have a really tough game.
He's doing okay right now.
Yeah.
He's actually he's level 4 in the offline.
This will definitely test his brood skills. For someone we don't get to see brood very often, this is going to be a big test.
I think this is a very similar in profit in certain ways.
Mm-hmm.
Very ratty. You micro your summons.
Filthy.
I mean, it's to me, as soon as I start seeing Brood again after a bunch of the changes, like, okay, this is the new Bulldog here, because that was when Nature's Prophet and Lone Druid were just terrible, like, absolutely never picked. Now they're starting to creep back, you know, Ice Frog showing Alliance some love, but these Spider Lanes are not having the easiest time.
If Bulldog has a hero Rolodex of at least 3 big rat dirty heroes, you're not going to have enough bans to deal with it. That would be unfortunate. So,
and it's not like he can't play other things. It's just that he personally loves to play the rats. Like that's where he.
I mean, if it gets
he
their
gets
team's
his jollies
wins,
off.
if it gets his team wins, I can't fault him on that.
So we have not talked at all about Clinks. This is a hero that I know EG was running probably more than anyone else at TI, but
That we were.
we have not seen too much of Clinks in the post-TI era. Any particular reason for that?
I think it's probably because a lot of the top teams have been more comfortable on super hard carries that can man fight in the late game, like Anti-Mage or Ember or TA or PL Spectre.
Making a move on Limp here. S4 commits a long blink. He's eating lots of damage from my nuts with the right clicks, and there it is. S4 gonna clean up the
My
Alchemist.
nuts almost dies in the acid spray.
That's a real. I don't know if I'm a fan of that Lina build. He went.
What's happening here? Snowball back. S4 looking to draw out. Jonas is going to be able to sidestep the Illuminate, and he gets an easy Scream off. And that's 2 kills. And Jakiro goes down the top lane to Bulldog.
And Bulldog's not done yet.
He's going for Era here.
He has no TP. Soul
He
Ring's
does have
fully down.
assistance. S4 gets another kill elsewhere, but look at the turnaround possibly. Limp shows up to the top lane. They have the dust. They pop it off. Bulldog could be going down here. Doppelganger, puts him over on the side, but he still gets the Spirit Lance off, and that will get the kill. But Alliance seemed to get so much more from that. S4 suddenly 3-0.
And that's exactly what they need to do to keep NiP down. You have to punish them in the laning stage. You drafted Queen of Pain, Undying, and
Clinks and Brood. Like,
Brood,
these are all heroes designed to win the lanes.
Yeah, if you don't win the lanes against NiP, you're going to have a really hard time in the mid game.
Even winning the lanes, it's still by no means like, oh, NiP's lost. They need to continue to win them as they're making their move on Era. S4 hit low in mana, unfortunately, though. And my nuts are caught out.
And scorched up a bit. Look at this. Blast will fly through, but they still are able to bring down the Lina. Nice little Spirit Lance there. Will secure Era the grab, and that will even the game up now 4-4. S4, though, looking to kind of change the pace here. Moving in for Hanskin. We'll have to blink away from the blast, and Hanskin will be able to catch out barely alive. But what's happening up here on top of the river? Looks like a stun's going to be happening. Limp gets the catch on the Ake. Ake commits a tombstone. They're going to go for the gold, but then they change courses. 100 cold going to be pocketed for the tombstone. Ake not going to make it away, it looks like. They do roll on forward. Seal Kid gets the hit with the blast. This old man now 3-1.
There are 4 heroes mid, including their
Dealing
one
with
position,
S4.
including their one position PL.
All right. They're going to lane Alchemist against the Brood now. This is an interesting adjustment. He does not have that great regen when the ult's down, but I don't think Bulldog's able to harass him out of lane before he gets the ult. So
No, he's not going to be.
So they're going to
able to do
need
anything.
another hero or two if they actually want to dislodge Limp. Little squad of Spiderlings comes out. Hey, drop your acid spray. Okay. And now they'll work on the creeps instead. Nice play, buddy.
Oh,
Uh-oh.
Jonathan
Yep,
fan.
he's dead. Okay. There was another pocket of Broodlings hidden away, and they just pop out and kill the Tusk. And Bulldog is looking for another opportunity to go on Limp here. Look at this. Hopping in, but that regen is too good. They do go back. This guy doesn't have regen. And they'll kill him with the assistance from S4 and Ake. Alliance going to take over this laning stage. As there was so much attention from NIB on the mid lane, they just rotate their power to the top. Bulldog takes over, and now
And
they
you
have
could
his
almost
back.
forget there's a Clinks in the game. Loda's just sitting bottom, free farming,
Yeah.
leader in terms of last hits. As Limp gets dove top for the swarm, Bulldog rushing in. S4,
Oh, God.
they almost fog him. He gets up the stun. He's going to go down again. There is no stacking, no farming for Alchemist, only death and destruction. And as they made those rotations into the jungle, I want to point out, look at the Wards Alliance of plop down. They scouted for stacks. They get vision on both of the camps that are the safest, and they're about to take away the tower top, which means effectively the entire jungle is either not safe or scouted now. And Clinks has a medallion, which means Loda can get really aggressive and take a page out of Old Man Fear's book.
Bottom
and start
lane,
roaming.
they might get their jump on the Loda. They lead in, they get the Dust. Tusk block, Ice Path, Dual Breath here. This Clinks, though, surprisingly tanky. Eventually, it looks like, though, they will be able to burn them apart.
Or
will the
will
dust
they?
wear off? Will the dust wear off? Will the dust wear off? The dust is off. They drop a sentry. He's still able to turn the corner. He's hiding another dust. This one will be able to spot him. Eventually, Jonas will be able to catch up with him, but, man, he's making him work for it. Finally, they are able to bring him down.
Yeah, they needed to stop him. He was just sitting there down in the bottom lane free farming.
All three of their cores on the top now, and Lib pokes his head onto the jungle. Hey, just give me a little me time. I'll come back and see you later, but Alliance are not going to allow that. So they've got to tri-lane the jungle. They've just given up on the two camps over to the western side of the dire jungle, and they're not able to gank Brood. We talked about Brood as a hero that there's a lot of wave clear for the spider lanes, but they don't have that Spirit Breaker, Storm Spirit, Bat Rider type hero that can reliably hunt and catch the Brood. So with a start like this, Bulldog is also going to become a big problem. This is... Even though the gold and experience is close, I think Alliance, if they keep it up with the map control, have the position to just shut down NiP's greed.
I agree.
Something that pro players have said in the past about Brood is that there exists, you know, great heroes that can clear spiders, but what's really a Brood counter isn't clearing the spiders necessarily, it's catching the Brood.
Yep.
You can always
Spirit Breakers, usually, you know, Zeus's used to be a big thing as well. Spirit and Zeus, ways to
Axes, right?
Axe, yeah.
It's you can always create more spiders, but you really have to kill him to stop him.
And he can always send them elsewhere too. You go to hunt the top jungle, he can just rotate his spiders on mid. We've seen a lot of that from Mag, where I think more than anyone else lately, he likes to come to fights as Broodmother, and that is something that you don't really have a solution for. And Bulldog is going for a combat build, building up the Orchid, about to complete it too. There's some easy pickings here. A 530 HP Keeper of the Light. Jakiro a little bit beefier, but definitely still solo kill potential there. And Limp with a +1 can be brought down as Loda, the Bone Fletcher, on the prowl.
All right, Seal Kid is dead.
Oh,
Seal Kid is so dead.
Oh, man.
All of a sudden, surprise, a little skeleton man with a fire bow, and then a swarm of spiderlings appear, but they all get fed the way of hand skin, so... Fortunately, not the Alchemist, I guess, is the main thing. While that was happening, PL was diving in the mid lane, trying to finish off S4, unable to do so. And now back to Jakiro, who also will go down. Bulldog stunned, but Limp retreating. He's not even farming. In fact, he's gone back for a medallion build, further slowing his economy. Will allow him to stay alive with the bonus armor, but...
When you're Alchemist at
nobody
this
is
point,
farming on NiP.
No. They picked such a greedy lineup. I just not going to have too much faith in their team composition here. They had to sack a lot of their laning potential with some of the picks, and Alliance just punished them for it. Now they're going to have no space, no room to be able to be greedy, but they're going to catch the Loda here, leading with a Dust, Ice Path, Dual Breath, but it's almost as if he didn't take any of those skills. He's still living on. Finally look at the catch-up with the help of the contested shot. The Walrus Punch, so much committed here. 5 in the mid lane. They finally bring down the little armor.
It's always 4 to 5 NiP heroes just dealing with, at most, 3 Alliance heroes, and often even 1 to 2. And then you've got Bulldog, or potentially Loda, or in this case, S4. 2 of those heroes are always off on their own, farming the jungle, getting towers, and creating pressure on the map. And NiP are the team that want to be playing the greed game. They want to be spreading out, free farming Keeper of the Light, stacks in the jungle, or having him deep push lanes while Alchemist goes to the woods, having PL just push a lane and then BOT to another part of the map. But they're not going to be able to do it at this point. It's just an Alliance tempo. They don't have the map control, so I wonder for NiP where they look to strike first. Is there a particular hero they gank, do you guys think? Or are they just kind of at the mercy of Alliance's mistakes?
They need to find some way to catch out the Brood. I think that's super hard, though, because they don't have a hero that naturally does it. Johannes,
if he had a blink
Jonas
dagger,
and Fan
maybe.
needs to...
Oh, that was
he
the dream
needs some
opportunity, but he didn't even see her. The smoke broke, did not
broke,
dust.
he didn't quick dust.
Even then, I don't know if they get her.
Yeah. It's really on him at this point. Oh my god!
Look at how far Loda was comfortably able to dive when they saw that.
That was a 3-shot with the medallion. Not sure if you caught it.
He didn't even fire an arrow the last hit.
Yeah, the last... either that or it was a weird reborn glitch, but...
Yeah, I couldn't get there in time because of Reborn.
Yeah, okay, that's a chip.
That's a chip.
Whatever, dude.
That's a chip. What color are you?
I don't know.
Oh, they're looking for Bulldog. They're hunting him. He on some fun. No gem, though. Bulldog's just chilling. Like, if 3 heroes want to run around the jungle hunting the brood and he just stands here, they're winning by default. The rest of the team's farming, so... My Nuts is happy.
I don't foresee NiP being able to execute what they would want in this game.
No,
they need more time.
They have no reliable way to catch the brood, and the brood is just creating way too much pressure. But it is still up to Alliance to do something with this. They really need to take that tier 1. It's giving NiP more space than I think they would like.
They kill that KoTL again bottom lane, but here's a commitment from NiP. Trying to get the catch onto my Nuts,
this
but
could
not
be
gonna
bad.
Grab it. What a turnaround. S4, huge Sonic Wave will catch the 2 of them. Arrow routing the bend, trying to catch out the Nuts, but not going to get him. Now they turn on the S4. Does have the blink. Steps away. LSA is going to be off the mark there.
Delta split!
And now they are on the run, but Bulldog is here. He comes away from that top lane, and Loda cuts him off at the pass. A double kill, though, for Jonas. He will eventually go down. Loda secures a killing spree for himself. Turns into a 2 for 2.
Ultimately, that wasn't the worst thing for NiP, as they get a third hero.
That's some nuke damage from the ninjas. That's definitely good for them. They also force Bulldog to rotate, so he's not taking a tower during this time. Every core except for the little clinks down, but now Loda's... he's actually going Orchid. They're going triple Orchid this game. That is curious.
That's a lot of... yeah,
I would have really expected a Deso.
I would have liked the Deso, yeah.
Siege and push those objectives down faster.
Well, also helps them Roche. Yeah, that to me is a little strange. You've already got Medallion as well as Soul Rain and Aquila, and you've got the Mango in your inventory. You don't really lack for mana regen, and it's going to be a fairly late Orchid compared to the other 2, but it's also a good map control item, so it's by no means terrible, but I think
I still think the Deso would have been way better. He would just be two-shotting a lot of the squishier heroes on NiP, whereas the Orchid is not that necessary. Who do you really need to silence? The PL maybe? The Elk?
Tusk is nice.
I guess.
But they have 2 Orchids already, or they will by that point. That's the thing. S4 about to get a second Oblivion staff.
Yeah, this is... I think it's a little too much, and the Desolator would have given them a lot more return.
They are not out of the woods yet. As good as the game looks for Alliance, they're only up 5k gold, and versus an Alk, the amount of stack clear that this lineup has, you just need to make sure you keep the pressure up.
Yeah.
Continue to occupy the jungle with the Brood. Get wards up.
This game goes deep.
Yeah, it's also going to be really hard for Alliance to push high ground. You're pushing into Acid Spray, Macro Pyre, KoTL Blast, yeah.
But they have such a bigger window now because Alk, not only has he died and just been forced to come to fights constantly and not stacked, he's had to go into a Solar Crest. This massively delays his economy. So Alliance does have a longer window than normal versus an Alk.
Yeah, they need to take this tower. That thing has been up for way too long.
You get this tower down, now you really have control over the entire dire side of the map. And they are going to smoke behind Era. Snowball forward onto Loda.
They got the
Dust
follow-up.
Available. He's not popping it.
Pops it now, but it's a bit too late. Maybe hoping to catch Bulldog in the midst as well. Chaos breaks out as S4 leads in with a huge Sonic Wave. They're going to quickly drop down 2. Hanskin going to be forced to dish out the Macro Pyre and blast all the nuke potential they got to try to keep Alliance back in at bay, but it's not going to be happening. Snowball forward. Jonas going to get the kill onto Bulldog. A follow-up double kill for him with a big Walrus Punch. All the meanwhile, though, Loda starts chunking down the backliners, gets the kill. Hanskin's going to be dropped. Jonas TP's away. We'll make it out. A 3 for 2 trade advantage for Alliance.
Not as... it's still good for Alliance. They kill the Alk again. Not as bad as I thought it would be, though, for NiP.
They don't lose Era. They do lose Limp, though. And it looks like Alliance are going to be able to eventually finish off this Tier 1 as soon as this glyph does expire. Oh, Jonas, though, with a Shadow Blade here.
He got a Shadow Blade. Wow, that is...
Blink, but
he's the Rat Exterminator now.
Rolls in. Walrus Punch.
Okay, he's dead.
See you later. Nice little uppercut. Jonas looking to step back. Oh, no. Medallion. Huge damage from Loda. He's going to get the kill. Blinding Light. Coming out a little late, but...
You know what we need, Dakota? We need the Luigi Fire Punch sound from Smash whenever Tusk gets a kill with the Walrus Punch.
What's it sound like?
I can't even describe it. I'll play it for you.
Aww.
Luigi Fire Punch.
Is it like a woo, a laugh or something? What?
What?
I'm curious now. You should know this, right?
I can't make the sound.
Smash?
Oh, from Smash?
It's so satisfying.
Oh, it's like a...
Do it.
It's not like a sound that a human can make.
Yeah, I'm not a soundboard.
I mean, is it him?
Do it. Dance for me, mortal.
Monkey. I'll throw peanuts at you. All right.
We'll see if our producer
Bounty
can
rune
track
for
it down.
Alchemist.
It's a good one to add to the soundboard, though.
Well,
I know what it sounds like.
good for you.
Thanks.
Solar Crest done on Limp and an Ogre Club. BKB seem necessary for him this game, or is this an S and Y?
I don't.
A halberd for the Quinks?
Are they just straight beginning the Aghanim's train now? You really need a farming item on Alk.
Oh, I don't know if he should be so selfless so early. I think you
No,
still want
but-
to get some more utility.
How much does Ogre Club really help you this game? The Queen of Pain ult goes through it. Clinks does massive physical damage. Yeah, you can deal with the Orchids okay. I don't... And Brew does a lot of physical damage from the ultimate. I don't really think BKB offers you all that much.
Ooh, Loda is flirting around with trouble here. They will see him walk back out. Look at all these sentries.
Look at these sentries and
NiP are like,
wards.
we got to make sure we see anyone crossing through this mid lane.
And the Dong exerts his influence, now taking the tier 2 top lane. Only 2 towers remain for the ninjas, who may soon find themselves playing base defense alliance. This is important for them. If they figured out the Alchemist quote-unquote counter, it may give them a leg up going into game number 2.
Yeah, Monkey Business did show their own way kind of dealing with the Alchemists in game 2. They went very objective based. They pushed very fast early, had tons of sustain. Not seeing too much of that from Alliance. I guess a part of it is Bulldog in the top lane is definitely putting the pressure on NiP as far as not allowing them to have a lot of time in this game.
Who knew the counter was to just not let him farm? Just gank him.
Well, this was what...
He also didn't get much help. It's not like, you know, Alchemist was kind of fending for
He
himself.
he didn't have heroes that could really help
I mean,
him.
they went with a coddle.
This was what Mineski did to MVP Phoenix. Although they didn't have the Broodmother, they ganked the mid lane like 5 times. There was not another hard carry like PL. It was just Alk as the main carry. Then they warded the jungle. Like I think they expended 2 Observer wards, like 4 Sentry wards, just to ensure that the enemy team couldn't de-ward. They constantly parked their heroes in the jungle. They warded off the Ancients. They ganked the Ancients. Like they basically said, you are never hitting a creep without getting punished. Every bounty rune was contested or taken away. If you're going to give away Alk, that's pretty much how you have to play. Either that or just, I don't know, hope that he's not efficient. Like, we saw some other teams try to play the greed game versus Alk, and it can work out if he makes mistakes, but
Yeah,
that's not a solid game.
You have to, the other way is, right, if you're going to let him go to late game, make sure that you have ways to deal with him at that point.
Yeah.
And I actually don't think that is that hard.
The problem is NiP didn't have a lineup to back up this Alk in case stuff like that happens. If someone goes in your jungle and takes your stacks away, who's going to stop them from doing it? If they keep pressuring him in lane, who's going to stop them from doing it? They have a way to deal with maybe the heavy early push, which is kind of coming because they have so much nuke and spam and wave clear. But for all those other things, you know, Alchemist doesn't have much assistance, so they're going more on just the clock. They'll hold out, they'll be losing tier 2s, and eventually Alliance will get to the NiP base. We'll just have to see if NiP are going to have enough of a defense that they can stall this game out where the PL and the Alk can be a problem.
Are they ready to Roche now? Orchid number 3 online, the trifecta. Alliance are going to move into the pit.
Hey,
So it
well,
would be nice here. They're all going to get hit by an Illuminate right as they begin the Roshan attempt. This is still a reasonably quick Roche, with S4 having a fortuitous double damage rune. No surprises here.
Imagine how much faster it'd be if they had a Deso, though.
Yep.
I wonder if Bulldog, you know, with the way he's
In
been
fact,
playing
they're
the Brood
a little afraid to
Necrobook.
complete it. This is good for NiP.
Just do it. You see them mid lane, just do it. Get in there, Loda.
I don't want to. I want to creep first.
Quick! They got it. Who picks it up? It's going to be S4. Now Alliance have the benefit of that extra life. NiP farm what they could with the window of time. Era going straight for a defusal here. So right to a more fight-centric kind of a build-up on his PL.
Yeah, he can't be greedy here.
Yeah. What about for our Alchemist? He's got the Solar Crest. Normally I see a lot of mobility items come up after a Solar Crest, like a Shadow Blade or a Blink Dagger, or maybe more utility, like I said before, an AC or something, before you want to kind of hand off Agnum Scepters to everyone. But he's going to go BKB.
He's gone BKB, and now for me the real question is, does he try to go back for a farming item? Almost always it's Radiance. Or does he just say, screw it, it's too late, let me start getting items that help the team right now, like AC, possibly feeding some Ags away. He's already behind the Clinks in net worth, which, how often do you see that at 22 minutes? Normally you consider it good if the Alk's only up like 3 to 5k at this stage of the game. But we'll see. For now, Limp focusing on team play. As Alliance move through their own jungle, getting into the Ancients. Or Era is currently farming. He gets silenced up, doesn't have the Diffusal Blade just hit. He's very close to it. Bulldog trying to bring him down solo, and he will with the help of Ake. And meanwhile, mid lane, Hanskin also going to die. He got caught by the Queen of Pain ult. Orchided, silence, dies in the fountain. Oh.
Not happening. And the BKB debut will be a defensive one to TP out from trouble. Not good for NiP. Era goes down at the start. They lose their Jakiro mid, and they don't get to get any sort of redemption for it. And here comes Alliance charging down this mid lane.
They are good at holding up in the base, as we were talking about. NiP obviously have amazing wave clear, but if Alliance are just starving them, not letting anybody leave, then you're actually losing the economy game with an Alchemist, which is a pretty ridiculous proposition, but here we are.
And this is it. I mean, this is what looks like NiP's potential bread and butter coming soon. With this tier 2 to go down and only one more outer tower standing, it's going to be NiP with their high ground defense soon enough. Trying to hold off Alliance and continue to see if they can stall out the clock. How are Alliance at being able to siege into the base?
Bad.
Not that good.
Bad.
So they can rat a little bit. You can have Brood in one lane, Clinks in maybe in another, and the other 3 parked mid, something like that. But they're not a great group up in 5-man lineup.
You might want to pipe on the Undying.
Yeah, that would be good.
Probably
he needs the mech first, I guess.
Yeah, I think you need you might want a BKB on S4 as well. He's gonna blink in. You don't want him to blink into like a PL Lance or a
free kill on Seal Kid, Loda.
Jakiro stuff.
Gonna find him. Not quite able to finish him off though. Now Era comes in, gets the Lance.
I'm gonna say this every time. If he had a Desolator, he would have had that.
Era looking to retreat here. He's so close to that Diffusal. And he will go down. S4 gets the catch. And Loda still seems to be good. Walks out from the Macropyre. Still burning up that liquid fire. Not going to be enough. And now it's Alliance inside the base. They got Limp trapped here. He's stuck within the creeps and the shards.
S4 an aggressive
fly through. He's way in deep. That's going to cost him the Aegis, but they will be able to get Limp down. 50 seconds out. Same with Era. Both of them do have a buyback, but if you have to expend a buyback this early, that is not good. So this is just where they're going to have to hope that Hanskin and their Keeper of the Light's going to be good enough to fend off this push. Bulldog's on the front. There's going to be the early Ice Blast. Liquid Fires to fly. And the Glyph going to have to be spent. Here comes Jonas. And it looks like
for that big uppercut onto S4. He's going to get it. Follow up solo kill. Very well done there.
No sentry down for Alliance. They will drop one now, but not having one near that front step cost them the life of S4. Oh, my nuts. Ice Path? Not going anywhere. Roll on forward. Blast! And Jakiro will get the last hit on that one. A 2-for-1 trade. NiP don't have to expend buybacks. They don't lose anything inside the base. And they will be actually walking away with a decent purse.
Case in point, that's how bad Alliance's high ground is.
Yeah, they need to just keep on strangling out NiP. And they need so many more items on their heroes before they can
have a BKB, which is one step there.
Yes.
And now they have the sustain with Ake and his mech.
All right, Diffusal Blade out on Era, so he finally has a solution to this triple Orchid strat. And with the 0-second cooldown, you can triple purge yourself if need be. So Era's not an easy kill any longer. But the rest of the team I still worry about quite a bit. And I'm still waiting to see where Limp goes. Up to
that's what I was just
going
to
11,000 gold.
What is the next item for him? I mean, when you're going to be mostly on the defensive, maybe an AC, give everyone extra armor, have a bit more fight potential.
Yeah, AC is really good here.
Lotus Sword for Tusk. That's fun. Looking to purge off...
it's another counter to the Orchids.
Yeah, purge off an Orchid plus a chance to what, reflect back a Laguna. I'll take it.
That's always delicious. Timing it can be a little tricky.
Or maybe, if not getting AC, is it worth it to maybe feed KoTL and Ags just so their high ground defense is that much better?
Eventually.
You'll always have Blinding Light up, which is great. And the ability to always recall so that they could split pressure while the push is coming and then recall anyone if necessary.
I can dig it.
Yeah.
The other really good eggs this game is the Jakiro eggs, which just gets absurd.
It's good. It's only good in those moments when you're high ground defending because it's so big. It's like they have to go through it on this entryway. Everywhere else, you know, take the fight outside the macro buyer. But on these kind of choke points, it's very difficult.
Limp, he's fully abandoned any
went
plan of
blink.
farming.
That just makes like we're on the offensive and we're taking fights and finding picks.
Yeah, let me tell you, Limp is not taking fights right now. He's running, even with Loda not having
blink away,
the
buddy. Oh man, he's gonna walk away and shrug it off with his ultimate there, but I agree. The blink.
He went blink.
Doesn't seem like a very good defensive tool, but maybe NiP have something else in plan.
This is officially a support alk now. Look, what, he's Solar Crest BKB. I mean, who cares if he's magic immune? He does nothing. I guess he's a tank, but they can just ignore him.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
maybe he's kind of forced into these more utility items, but I feel like then you can go for an AC, something that helps your team a bit. Hell, even a Vlad's I feel like brings more to the table than a Blink, but we will see. Maybe he gets the big 3-hero stun that turns the fight.
Hanskin showing off his new Yules will force out the S4 BKB. And now that we'll be able to clear out this
he got the
tower.
deny.
Nice little deny from Limp. Raxus will be exposed. Loda's going to pop his own BKB. Dust goes out, but he is already out of there. They will be able to hold.
It's not the worst hold for NiP. I think that S4 really didn't want to use a BKB in that scenario.
Yeah.
Man, Era with the 28-minute shreds. So why NiP just really feeling backed into a corner to go for these super late timings on
this feels
cheap
like
items.
Those kind of games back when the sniper dominated and like they would get pushed into the base, but sniper would always be able to continue to hold, and eventually they could come back. But you don't have the luxury of like the olden sniper. They're gonna have to make do with a PL and all their nuke power. But look at this; they're actually gonna go on the offensive here. They smoke up and. This is where that blink could come into play if they got the catch onto anyone. But it looks like they won't. Loda's already out, and most of Alliance are heading towards this mid lane. They could wait it out for Bulldog to finish off this AC. Allows them to get more durability with the extra armor and extra sieging capability on those towers. They'll need every little bit they can get with their lackluster high ground movement.
If I were NiP, I wouldn't really want to take a fight outside of my base. So many of your abilities are high ground defense oriented.
That's 4.
Oh, look at that. There's the blink coming into play. Blast.
Right.
They have the lockdown, and they get the kill. S4 also not expecting NiP to take fights outside the base.
Oh, you know, some fun and danger here. He's the gem carrier. They can't afford to lose him. This is really important. They will.
They got him.
That was a very important.
Is the gem under the tombstone?
Yes, it is.
They actually can't click on it until the tombstone dies. I'm pretty sure.
I think they picked it up. My nuts has it right now.
Oh,
no, that's not. That's his.
No. He didn't pass it off, right? I didn't think so.
Did they lose a gem? I thought you were saying implying that they had lost a gem.
I thought Tusk had one. Didn't he?
You would be incorrect because he's dead with.
I must have clicked on the wrong hero. I'm an idiot.
It's okay.
All right, that's a chip.
That's a chip.
I didn't get my coffee. Production was supposed to give me some. Never did.
Is that a chip? Is that a
that's
chip?
A
for
production chip
all
as
right,
well.
that's a chip for
Promised me
production.
coffee, didn't deliver.
Wow.
High maintenance caster over here.
Era pushing
You know what, Charlie?
in.
Go fuck yourself.
On the prowl here. Era's still hanging about. Orchid and BKB for Loda. He's waiting for help, and there's going to be the Orchid. Era is now going to be forced to run. Oh, LSA not going to catch this. Era jukes to the right-hand side. Will eat the Laguna. Snows. Okay, too much slow from the zombies. S4 will eventually blink in. Era goes down. Still has buyback, but it looks like otherwise he's out 50 seconds. And with Roche being up, Alliance move right into the pit, and they will secure this Aegis. with that, with an AC, this might be their time to be able to breach.
Into the pit they go. Jonas some fun. Not stopping this by himself. Yeah, this is about the point where Alliance get the Aegis. They should have an AC fairly soon on Bulldog. 20.
Is he gonna get cut out here?
Yeah, they may lose.
No,
the
he can just Shadow Blade away. But oh, S4.
No gem on him, no detection. Jonas makes it out.
So yeah, they're gonna have AC. They're gonna have an MKB soon on Loda. Aghanim's being built by Lina. Don't think they really needed to go high ground. I imagine push out these lanes and before the Aegis expires, have a crack at it. Racks are exposed. Now, do they want to spread the lanes a little bit, go for Quake / Brood and separate lanes from the team, or do they just five-man brute force down mid again? We'll have to see.
Might be their best chance. This is like NiP playing wave 2 of tower defense now.
2? This is like wave 10.
They should definitely wait for the AC on Bulldog. I think he should be pretty close.
Yeah, he's pretty close.
Yeah, it's about... Alright, they're not going to wait. They're just going to go.
Like we got an Aegis and everything we could ask for. They're going in.
Oh, there was a creep wave there. That's okay. The spider lanes are coming.
Okay, S4 is going to be forced to BKB to avoid the ice path. Glimmer Cape will save Hanskin for now. They try to change course and go for now the racks. Big Sonic Wave, though, from S4. Gets a big catch, but here comes the Macropie, the ice path. Aki in a bit of trouble. Sustaining with the Soul Rip right now, and Bulldog.
He just doesn't care. He's
always eyes on the prize with this guy. He goes right for the racks, brings down the melee, and Alliance are going to be happy with that. Jonas back in the lines. And he's going to be dropped.
They get 2 kills, though. Looking for more. Ake may be the third. NiP, they've given up a melee Rax, but Alliance are giving up a lot of gold here. NiP enjoying that. Now Limp jumping forward. Will not be able to track down the Queen of Pain, who's already scrambled the retreat. And that is a 3,000 gold swing. They do hang on to the Aegis. They salvage the gem. S4 grabs it.
I think that you actually want to give the Aegis to Loda in that situation. He's going to be the one sieging. He's going to be the one hitting the towers.
Yeah.
Does he have a BKB?
Loda? Yes.
Okay. They all do, and they just as far as the cores, and they're just standing there like in
throwing
all the
bodies,
flying at them.
Throwing bodies at the racks.
Yeah, and then you've got the supports who don't have magic immunity. You're like, I don't really want to be here, but okay, I guess we're doing it. Just throwing tomatoes at them, and things are going splat.
Looks like S4 will go for the Shivas then, since Bulldog did finish off his AC.
This game would be a lot easier if Loda had a Desolator, honestly.
Really would.
MKB is the next thing for him.
Having a third silence has not changed the game at all.
That's interesting. No evasion. Oh, the Solar Crest, I suppose, for Limp. But they're not really fighting the heroes too much. They're more sieging.
Well, it's good against the Blinding Light as well.
Oh, you're right. How can I forget that? I'm Coddle Guy, for God's sake.
You are Coddle Guy.
I guess if we don't get the Seakeeper played.
All right, brown player is getting gone on.
My nuts almost dead to Yoda some fun. Now the Laguna comes out. Did not get off the Lotus Orb. Trying to retreat. Blake, Scream, S4 looking for the twofer. A bit too slow to get that second retreating.
Well, he echoed the Shadow Strike. That was pretty cool. I'll give him that, but...
I mean, you only get style points for echoing the Laguna.
That's true.
Let's be real here.
Is that it that you can echo and that's cool? Medallion? You can echo an Orchid.
Yeah, I guess you can.
So, that wouldn't be too bad.
That doesn't really work when all the Orchid carriers also have BKBs.
It's a shame that the Coddle had to step off for the Glimmer Cape and will not be able to get an early Ags. Ags is just so nice to have in these high ground defenses.
You really want to see a 7-slotted Coddle Dakota.
I really think Alchemist should have just pulled him one or gone something other than the Blink Dagger.
Well, he goes in Spirit Form now. Can't really Blinding Light as the BKBs are all out. S4 looking to breach the backliners here. Looks like Seal Kid will be going down first. Limp very low, trying to limp his way back towards the base. I don't think he's going to be able to make it here as S4 slowly cripples him apart. Arrow's just trying to assist his man, but while that happens, again, the Bulldog going right for the rack. He's going to be able to drop the one. Alliance very satisfied again with another successful siege. Can they make it out alive, or are they going to be handing over a purse to NiP? We'll see. The owner's rolling on in.
Great stun by my nuts. 3 heroes along with the turnaround as the slave comes out. S4 comes back for round 2. They fully wiped the team and then some. A dieback on the Alchemist, who ends this game 4th in net worth. utterly shut down. He was abused from start to finish. And NiP, I wonder if they even want to pick Alchemist
Yeah,
given the chance after the way this went.
No,
I
you
don't feel like Alk
like,
is an NiP hero.
I think that is also a very overrated hero. I like this out of Alliance. They took a game where they were ahead from the very beginning. They didn't have to play some very ratty style, some style where they have to come back through split pushing the map or whatever. They took control from minute one, and they really took it to NiP.
Yeah, and that's, like you're saying, is I think a big step for them because they have not been winning many games like that.
Yeah, the way they won this game was very important, and it showed a lot about this team.
I agree.
Gotta give props to Bulldog in a lineup where I thought Brood would have the hardest time ever. Still managed to do a Brood thing. Yeah. Alliance just had all bases covered. NiP, don't pick Alchemist.
No. And they also doubled down on the greed by last picking a PL.
I was like, maybe just go like a core axe. Like they have a great axe player in Jonas. Why don't they just get like a core axe and throw him to like the safe lane?
I don't know if I would have liked that too much either. Like PL secures the late game for them. Core axe is really all in.
Alchemist secures the late game for them.
God, Alchemist is not even that good late game.
All right.
Well, not when he gets 0 help. He didn't get any help in lane. They didn't really secure the runes for him. He also just got punished. S4 did a really good job from minute 0. They contested all the runes. He denied the creeps constantly, even when it would cost him a lot of his life. In the tanked acid spray to do it. That's what you want to be doing against Alk. I feel like Alliance sat down, had a powwow. How do we counter Alk? They came up with a great solution.
Right. I think a lot of teams have been coming up with pretty good solutions.
Yeah.
Does Alchemist even have a positive win rate in these qualifiers?
I wouldn't be surprised if he doesn't.
We have a stats man here.
Okay.
It's positive for some regions, but not for America.
America, he's got a terrible win rate apparently. Europe, he was 7-2 before the day started.
Yeah, cue the NA Dota must be shit memes in Twitch chat.
It's funny that Alchemist has a bad win rate in America because Greed has been mostly winning in America.
It's so funny how they can just get away with so much greed. And it's like you'd think, just pick Deathball. Punish them.
There was a few punishes yesterday, though. Seems like teams are stepping it up a bit.
Oh, well. Well, we're going to go ahead and cut to a small break because that's just game number 1 of a best-of-3 in this lower bracket final. Will Alliance secure their trip to Frankfurt, or will NiP be able to get a win back and push it to a game 3?